Okay, so welcome back, Libra, and this is going to be a reading for you for the month of November. Apologies on getting my readings out. Life's been pretty busy lately, so I'm just going to do my best to get what I can out for the month of November for all of the signs. Starting with you, Libra. And apologies on the little makeshift table, and I have pre-pulled the cards just because I am much busier right now, and so I had to pull the cards before, and then I review it as I go as I can. I will randomly pull a few here at the end, and then we'll just get a few incidentals as far as advice cards, that kind of thing. And of course, in future readings, as I can, I will also do some shuffling of the cards and pull them more random at that point as well. But for the moment, this is the best I can do at this time. So anyway, as I mentioned, I did pre-pull some cards, and then I'll give you the details. I know some of you are also tarot readers as well, so you can interpret this as it resonates for you. So the first set of cards that I did pull out was the Ace of Swords. We've also got the Page of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Judgment card, and the Hermit, as well as the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm just going to go through the general energies of the cards first, and then I will tie everything in as we go through. So initially, when you see the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords, to me that speaks to, this is a career, money, finance reading, I should mention. I mean, otherwise, I know that it can represent love and so on, and passion, but this is career, money, finance. So for the month of November for you, Libra. So starting off with the Ace of Swords, I do feel that there is some clear-cut energy that's coming through here. Definitely feeling like you're being, there's an opportunity that's at hand here. I feel like there's something that is certainly a position. I feel that there's two positions that are coming up here. You might get an interview or a call or something along that line. And it is coming through here pretty quick in the beginning of the early stages of November anyway, probably within that first week for some. Others of you, it's going to resonate a little further out. You're not all on the same timeline. So again, these are also general energy readings, so they won't speak to everybody at the same time. And so just be aware of that and apply it as it resonates. So again, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands to me speaks to, from my readings anyway, this speaks to new opportunities coming through for you. Some of them, as I say, I feel are a little more of a passionate project, and others maybe a little bit more logical, formalized, structured, that kind of thing. There's also some energy around the and again, I'm going to tie this in a little tighter here, but also with the Judgment card coming through, and with the sort of sage wisdom here is what I feel with the energy, those two cards. So I feel like you're drawing on some, inward soul searching, but it's also very old wisdom. I feel that kind of makes you an old soul in the way that you're going about the month of November. And as well, in around the Ten of Pentacles, I feel family and celebrations are relevant here. I do feel that this is you focusing a lot more as well on your home base, your family, and the things that make you happy, and you're doing some soul searching in regards to that for the month of November. So again, I'm going to go through these cards a little more detailed as I pull them all together. I just wanted to show you the general energies first. We also have the King of Swords, and it came out with the Fool card and then the Three of Wands. So Three of Wands can be a delay of something coming through, but to me this also speaks to a project that you may have stopped, put down, and then you've picked it up again and you're just taking a leap forward. I do feel that there's a fair amount of balance and structure and organization coming through with all of the swords and the wands. There's a lot of energy, momentum, and certainly I feel there's a really good balance in terms of, it's not an aggressive energy. I feel like there's a good yin-yang balance between, as further out you'll see, there's the Emperor and the Empress, or sorry, the Emperor and the Queen of Swords coming through alongside that King of Swords. Again, some of you, this might resonate along a legal issue, but everything still looks to be fairly balanced for the month of November. And I'll get a little more specific as well when we go through to see what kind of money is actually coming through. But this part of it just seems to be a little more career based in the way in which you're proceeding forward. So we also have the Knight of Wands, or sorry, the Knight of Swords. So this is coming through fairly quick, I would say, a good balance, but also kind of an entrepreneurial energy. as well coming through. So again, side hustles, that kind of thing might be coming through with a job. But there's a fair amount of structure in this month. So I suspect that you're either dealing with a corporate energy or very structured type of position overall. And certainly, in the way that you approach your career at this time, I would say is more planned, organized, and as I said, laid out with structure. But again, good balance between the male and female energy here. So the action as well as the being open and receptive to opportunity. I do feel that you have maybe a little bit of, for the most part, everything is really quite positive, except for, again, there's just a couple of cards here. And again, a lot of swords energy. So, I mean, there is definitely more of a direct approach, I feel, for the month of November. But there is kind of a healing energy. There's also the Queen of Wands that comes further out here, which speaks to me as more of a, attention-getting type energy. You're very a lot more popular than maybe you had been in previous months. There's much more attention that's being drawn or paid attention to you for this period. But certainly to me, there is maybe a little bit of a restriction around in the way in which you feel you're going to be hampered, or in some way that you feel you're going to be not reaching your full potential. Something around disbelief or not believing in yourself, or something I feel is sort of coming through with those cards, that combination. Certainly the Queen of Swords, and I should mention the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, and there's just a lot of figures here in authority that I feel that you're dealing with. So to me, that kind of speaks to also relying a fair amount on other people, assistance, collaboration, that kind of thing. So we do have the Three of Swords here, but that is coupled between something from the past, and possibly strategizing here as well with that Seven of Swords. But to me, this combination, I'm just getting a feeling that this is distrust from the past. So this may not be relevant only in the month of November, in that you feel that there was distrust and there's a caution around gatherings and collaboration and how you go forward with your creative projects, that kind of thing. So some of the energies that stand out for me with these cards, I won't read all of them, but I mean, certainly was the Leo, the Aries, the air sign Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius were quite relevant. They seem to stand out more than the others for me. So again, there might be some kind of a celebration, but I feel like there's collaboration in whatever it is that you're working on. And it might be something that's related around the past here as well. The people that you know, maybe there's some kind of connection there. Somebody getting you a job from someone, as I say, that you know from the past. So final cards out is the Magician, and then we have the Hierophant and the Two of Wands. So certainly speaks to ships coming in with the Two of Wands. The Hierophant is speaking to sort of that higher commitment, and for sure, I mean, if we were talking relationships, it might speak to that as well. But in terms of career, money, finance, I feel this is really a combination of you taking charge of your life, moving something to the next level. You might be in a higher position of authority. Maybe you are the only authority in the position, but certainly taking on more of a role of a more elevated role than just being a team player. I feel you're collaborating, but it's to elevate something. Okay, so I'll get a little more detailed as we go along, as I said here. So I'll just bring these back up here. So knowing the energies that are out here, and again, I'm going to bounce back and forth a little bit here with some of the cards, but from what I'm picking up, I do feel that November, as I said, seems to be speeding up here, because there's a lot of, in looking at the Knight of Swords, I mean, there's a lot of energy of quick, forward, fast-moving action, a lot of Wands energy in here as well. I almost feel like with the Judgment card coming through here as well, that is kind of allowing for that energetic potential. So something new that's like, there's a lot of opportunity. There's a real start of something, a lot of starts this month, new job, new direction, new employment offers. It just seems like there's a lot more on the table for you this month, or a lot to be considered in moving something forward. But whether or not you take it, it's just potential energy that's in your court to act upon. So But as I said, I see a lot of opportunity, real starts for a lot of new things here opening up. So also feels like you have a real love for the work that you're, considering here and what you're doing. And there's real power, as I said, behind your ideas this month, because there's so much organization and clarity and action and good balance between, the yin and the yang, and being receptive and open to act. But it just feels like you're acting unencumbered. There's a clear, organized plan of attack here, just to make strong use of your gifts, your talents, your abilities. But I just really feel like you're seeing your way through and able to expand your projects, because, as I said, with that Ace of Swords coming through, I mean, that definitely speaks to clarity and, really getting a handle on what it is that you're trying to go forward with. But as I said, I feel like you're really seeing your way through, expanding your projects, especially with that Three of Wands that came out, further when I initially pulled the cards there. But I just feel like you're moving your life ahead in several different ways in terms of your career. I don't feel like it's just you just finding a job and filling the position. I feel like this is something that you're really doing some soul searching on and trying to find a way to expand on something that is more directly attached to your happiness. But I just feel, as I say, there's enough wand energy here to suggest to me that you're being re-inspired, and that Judgment card coming through with that Hermit energy is, to me, that age-old wisdom, that you've got that combination of elders and professionals, and just that entwined grouping, just to me is assisting you in some way. So whether that's, you're getting insight and direction, or if it's you just relying on a lot of your old, wisdoms and lessons learned, that kind of thing. Either way, it does feel like it's very close to family in some way. So this could be, as I say, family being a strong focus this month, but there's certainly some celebrations to consider, and more connection to others and collaboration, still fairly strong with authoritative figures this month, or people that specializing in particular areas. And again, that could be legal areas and so on for some of you, going in the legal direction. But either way, as I said, I do feel that there's a strong focus this month on celebration, connection to others, and I feel like you're really presenting yourself in a way that's very calm, cool, collected. I do feel that you're fairly attractive looking this month. As I said, we've got the Magician, but we also had the Queen of Wands that was cropping up there. So to me, that, with that Leo energy, that also gives rise to, sort of attention as well, with that Star card so closely connected. I also feel that, again, there's some governmental structure or some corporate entity that's involved here, because we do actually have, as I said, we've got the Hierophant here. And for me, whenever I see like the Lover's card, or even just the Two of Wands, that kind of thing, and certainly with the Hierophant coming through, I do feel like it's a very structured environment that you're moving into. So this could be a very big business sort of deal, or this could be something that's a bigger, corporation that you're working for, or in some way affiliated with, or having to get some kind of guidance in, going forward with a business. However that resonates for you, it's going to speak to you all a little bit differently, but either way, there's some kind of large government or corporate entity or larger business that is somehow influencing the month of November. But it all looks to be really healthy and balanced. And as I said, because there's so many, I feel, professionals involved in what you do for the month of November, I do feel that this could be, I'm just going to randomly pick something, but I mean, it could be, an office that has, accountants and several accountants and that kind of thing, or maybe it's a medical office and there's, a lot of doctors, nurses, whatever that is for you. There's a lot of professional people around you for the month of November. So again, it all looks to be healthy, balanced, and there's an energizing sort of feel to push things ahead. And I don't see any plans thwarted, due to loss or anything, if it is dealing with some kind of issue around a legal aspect. There's nothing here that suggests to me that it would go anywhere but forward and positive, especially with the Fool and the Leap of Faith and the Three of Wands. There's expansion there. Again, for some, this can represent a bit of a delay, but for me, it feels as though things were stalled and were in delay, and now things are starting to move forward. But even though this is kind of moving into the direction of, going from the Fool into the Three of Wands, I feel like you're sort of on the precipice, because it does move from the Two to the Three of Wands. So it does feel like you're on the precipice to really advancing something. So again, I just feel that you've got something from the past that's also showing up there. As I said, we do have I feel like this could be, maybe someone from the past is helping you to get a job, but it also feels like there's a celebration of some sort here, that you're going to be entertaining, other people that you have had in your life that have maybe caused you to feel a little bit of there's a guarded energy around it. Maybe there was some kind of suspicious activity or something that has put you in a situation where you feel a little distrustful. And certainly just because of the nature of those cards, that combination, to me, it also speaks to, maybe there is some jealousy or something like that that's around there too. There could be manipulation or something along that line as well with that combination of cards. So I would just be a little wary about being too overly revealing of what it is that what your plans are for the future, and certainly, how things are moving ahead for the month of November. So again, I don't see any real losses. I do feel that you may have some concerns over money not coming in fast enough, just with that Eight of Swords energy around the, I think it was in the earlier, there it was, with that Eight of Swords energy around the star. So again, this is self-imposed kind of restrictions and that kind of thing. So for the most part, I just feel like it's nothing that is of grave concern. I just feel like it's just energy that of self-doubt, or somehow limiting yourself in advancing, or not believing that something is going to happen. Some kind of insecurity of some sort around finance and resources, and whether or not you will reach this soul's purpose, because I feel like that's what you're doing for the month of November, is really thinking about something that is purposeful, and not believing that you're going to attain it because the progress has been so stop-start or moved slowly, just not able to see a lot of advancement. And so, again, that's where the Eight of Swords comes through. But either way, with that past energy coming up with the Six, I guess that was just in behind here, with that past energy coming up with the Six of Cups, I would still say just to, you're still doing some reflection, and maybe that's what's causing a little bit of the hindrance. You're looking back on the past and how something did not move or advance you in some way, but I feel like you are overcoming that because you are using a clear, logic-minded, practical, traditional way of dealing with your current issues, or your current the way in which you're planning this plan of action, the growth, the action, the planning. All of that, I feel, is kind of lightening your spirit now as well, with that coming up with the Fool energy. So again, something from the past here showing up that might alarm you in some way. Maybe someone or people that you didn't quite trust, but I don't see that there's going to be any issues presently to deal with in the month of November. There's growth, there's action, there's planning. I feel that this is lightening your spirit, as I mentioned, with that Fool card coming out initially. And you are taking practical steps, practical action. You're really starting to see some progress and results, because you are relying on the wisdom of the Hermit energy. You definitely have the skills and the tools to advance yourself with the Magician. Definitely feel like you're moving this ahead to another level here, because we have the Hierophant energy with the Magician, and the Success card of the Two of Wands, that you're just on the precipice of moving something forward. We have a couple of cards here, again, of the Knight of Swords, a lot of action here, and certainly with the Emperor and the Libra energy, you coming through, there's a sense of empowerment, a sense of real take charge, in control of my life kind of feeling here. So again, I feel like there's practical action. You're really starting to see progress. There is some results that will be manifesting here in the month of November. Again, it still feels like with that, you still have plans further out, but I feel like you now know what your next moves will be. So again, with that Judgment card, and the Hermit and the Ten of Pentacles, I just feel, again, you're really doing a lot of soul searching around what makes you happy. I feel that the answers that you're seeking have come in maybe a little too slow, but a very deliberate way. So it is helping you to feel renewed with your passions, and you're really trying to connect with something that is real meaning and more of a legacy for you this month. And that was with the Ten of Pentacles. So again, real determination this month certainly seems to be your soul's purpose. I don't feel like you'll be able to actually even look back to your old self, your old life after this month, because I feel that the doors that are opening are kind of very deeply rooted in your psyche, whether it's some kind of philosophical truth or some kind of certainty. Something is putting you in a space where you are not able to turn away from the truths that you have come to, with all the swords. And it is a path of swords. It's not just one or two. So these are lessons learned, and generally the hard way. So there's been a little bit of cutting away of things that drew out, or drew on your energy as well, with all of the swords that came through, as I said. So, and again, it's still balancing out, though, with the Emperor and the Queen of Swords. So you have real balance, yin-yang energy, good sense of when to act, when to pull back. The Emperor, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, a lot of important, authority figures here. Good balance between being receptive enough to receive, and strong enough to stay in control of your thoughts and your actions. And with that Queen of Swords, real master with your words and showing up with real balance and strength. But there is more structure this month than a lot of the other months that I've noticed, and certainly a lot more routine. I do feel that you're thinking, more critically and on your feet about your next moves. And again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius show up prominently. Leo and Aries stand out for me also. But I do feel like you're really using more intellectual or cerebral output this month in whatever it is that you're immersing yourself in. So you're very sharp and you're on the ball this month. But overall, I mean, your situation in terms of work has improved. I do feel that you will hear of, good news around that area. So there's new energy this month. Again, with the two starter cards here with the Ace of Swords, and then we had, well, again, this was the Page of Wands, so things are starting to move, but a lot of fresh energy is what I want to say here. A real sense of, I feel it's like you almost felt like you dropped the ball on something or many things, and now it's like you're picking things up and advancing it ahead. And it's happening pretty quickly, actually. It is happening swiftly with that Knight of Swords. So you're definitely turning your dreams into reality again here. You've got the ball rolling, but something for sure is taking off. You're moving it to the next level. You have skillful manipulation with that, with the card of the Magician here. Sorry, just backtracking. So with the card of the Magician, sorry, I'll just try to pull those forward a little bit. So with the card of the Magician, as I said, skillful manipulation to advance yourself. I feel like you're strategizing, you're managing your resources in a sound way. You just need to keep the faith a little longer to reach your highest potential here, because you're being guided. And even though I don't feel like you're fully aware that you're making any progress, there is a sense that you're losing your belief in that journey with that Eight of Swords. But there are so many cards here, a lot of cards, that speak to renewal and healing, with the Star card, with the Judgment card, and it's persistent planning and structure that keep coming up with the Hierophant, the Emperor, and again with all the swords and the, we've got the King of Swords as well. Like there's just so much organization and so much incremental order, and tradition with the Hierophant card that to me it just speaks to, you know, there's renewal, there's healing, and there's that persistent planning and structure that are the foundations of creating or advancing you this month. So I feel overall you're more confident despite having that little Eight of Swords moment, you know, showing up as insecurity. And again, it could be just a moment around your resources or your ability to reach something, because I feel like it's more along the lines that you don't feel like you're reaching any level of status, and maybe that's or level of permanence or level of um, wherever you saw yourself. I don't feel that you feel it's sound enough to reach, that you don't feel like you're capable of reaching that. And I feel that you might have been feeling a little bit stuck. But either way, I do feel that you're buckling down this month. And that will be, again, of course, to improve, you know, with all the wisdom. There could even be you doing a lot more research as well. To me, the Page of Swords really speaks to, and the Page of Pentacles speaks to a lot more research and learning on that front. But I feel like whatever advancement that you're doing is based on your collaborations that you're getting insight from this month. So if there is research to be done, I don't feel it's happening maybe in the month of November. I do feel like there's a lot of learning though. So either way, you're buckling down, you're improving your situation. There's a strategy in place here. And whether you know it or not, you're on the right path here. And certainly you just have to learn to enjoy the journey, live in the moment as much as, you know, as much as the outcome, you know, because it is really about the creation of something, which really makes us feel alive. It's not, you know, finally getting when you bake a cake, you know, I'm just random example. And again, my examples are very poor. Sorry about that. But when you bake a cake, you know, I mean, it's the process of creating something, knowing why you're doing it, that really makes the journey that much more fulfilling. Once you eat the cake and it's done, you know, you move on to something else. So really it's, you know, it is the process here. So enjoy, be in the moment. So whatever this advancement is this month, this is either a better position, stronger commitment to the pursuit of something that is more aligned with personal freedom for you in some way. But there's willpower, there's tradition that is advancing you, as I mentioned. There's a lot of attention on you in some way as well. So I also just want to pull a couple of cards here just because it's the Halloween theme, and I do have other cards that are more specific to that, but we're going to go with the Witch's Wisdom. This is actually just the Rider-Waite deck, but I am going to pull the Witch's Wisdom card, Oracle cards, and this is the Barbara Mickelford Free Flavia Kate Peters. Sorry, I'm doing this a little late at night, so okay. So the first card out is the High Priestess card, and it is all about responsibility. So it does seem to fall in line with what's happening for this month. And the next card that we need for Libra for the month of November 2021. What are the general energies for the month of November for Libra? Okay, so this one is about winter. So that seems to be fairly consistent here too. The Watchtower of the North, and I felt like pulling the last one here, which is dedication for the altar. So I think those pretty much all tie in with what's happening right now. Again, for this month. Just see if I can adjust that a little bit. Yeah, so again, with the High Priestess energy, there's some things that are still kind of cloaked. There's not a lot of information coming through yet with the High Priestess. There's something that might still be hidden here, but there is a sense of responsibility. The onus is on you to bring things ahead, relying on your intuition, all of that. The altar and that dedication, I feel it is falling into the same period of the fall here. Let me just see what the cards also come through with from the book. So certainly dedication is at hand here. So you want to The wisdom of the cards indicate that you need to use all the tools that you have on the table. You know, whatever you've learned, whatever you've experienced, it's now mixing all those ingredients together and removing any indecision. So this is you being careful and wise, deciding on your path, and following through with true dedication. So creating an altar is how you're going about this. This is about taking into consideration, you know, your house, your garden, things that you're spiritually aligned with, and focusing on your desired result. So focus goals. Choose one path and move in that direction. The watchtower for winter, and I'm just a little unclear on there, but it does seem to speak to the time of the year as well, but it's the gatekeepers of the East. So the season brings on fresh ideas and its connection to the astral plane, inspiration, creativity, and it certainly speaks to writing or poetry or communication, which was very strong with the swords energy in the Rider-Waite deck. So that all falls in line with the same as well. So planting your seeds and being able to achieve your goals, but it's also representative of an air element. So actually, this is the Watchtower of the North, so apologies on that one. The Watchtower of the North is the gatekeeper of going within. You're being called to go within. And it does speak to aspects of your home life, your security, and nurturing the things that you require and able to go forward. So it looks like some things may have been ignored for too long. And this is where you're getting rid of unwanted behaviors or addictions or anything that seems to be stripping you away from your energy or deviating you from the path that you're meant to be on. It's using that wisdom in association with what comes from weathering the storm, so to speak, with the winter, but it's surrender and release because your life is changing. And this is where you are metamorphosizing. So it's rest and rejuvenate. Your ancestors are now connecting with you. So you might be dealing with a little bit of shadow work here, but for the most part, you are on the right path. As I said, dedication and responsibility is what the card speaks to. Okay, just going to grab one more. And this is on the Angel of the Wisdom cards. And this is by Radley Valentine. Okay, so just shuffling these ones here. What are the cards that Libra needs to know as advice for the month of November? What are the cards that Libra needs to know for the month of November as advice? The Emperor. Again, that's a repeat. We had that initially. The stability, taking charge, awakening, judgment. These are repeats. And release. So again, all pretty much the same message. I mean, the card in itself does, as I said, the Emperor speaks to control and being stable and taking charge of your life, all of those things. I do feel for the month of November, you're going to be fairly solid in how you move forward. And certainly with the Awakening card, I feel like this is more of a soul's purpose journey. I feel like you've really gone inward to release a lot of what was hindering you in the past here. So just on what the card itself says, logic and organization will increase your success. Take charge of the situation, accept a leadership role, structure, and discipline. So definitely stay on course with organization and tradition. And awakening is temporary pause for reflection and insight, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light. So embrace your own uniqueness, charitable actions, and of course, release. getting rid of things that might be standing in your way or draining you and dragging you down. Anything that is causing a blockage. So endings that lead to new beginnings, the need to release situations or people that hold you back, spiritual transformation. So because there's so much indication that you are moving ahead with new beginnings, I suspect you are releasing something. So for some of you, maybe there's some kind of a job loss that is part of this picture here, because it seems like there's something that's being released in lieu of you taking charge of your life again. So, and as well, because there's so many new beginnings, there might be something to that. So, again, whatever, if that is the case and there is a job loss, it doesn't matter, because I see there's a lot of opportunity in the month of November. So it's like you're just letting something go, picking something else up immediately. It doesn't look like there's any real turnover here or delay. You might have stepped back, released it, and then you're immediately moving on to the next thing. So that's what I have for you, Libra. Hope everybody stays safe, and I will put out another, hopefully, if I can squeeze in enough time, another reading for Halloween. And meantime, stay safe and keep moving forward.